everyone. We greet you all in the name of Jesus, the name that is above each and every other name. It's us here again, teenagers. We are in for a talk show with me, Racheal. Of course, I will be taking the driver's seat. I will be driving you people. We'll be taking you through what we have today. We greet you all. We hope you've been fine. We hope you are keeping hygienic. We hope you are following the rules of the World Health Organization, what they told us in such a time as this, when the pandemic has hit all over. There are things that we are trying to do to make sure we contain the virus, we mitigate it, keeping social distance, washing our hands on a regular basis, and having on, of course, our face masks. If we are to step out, if we are to go to congested places, we hope you are doing that. Here in Uganda, we are, and the Lord is helping us, is seeing us through. So yes, we are yet to kickstart off with our program today, our talk show. With me here in studio are three teenagers. Just like last time we started a talk show, and we are going to be continuing. So we urge you all to always keep it here. Call on the teenagers. Let's get to hear from them. Call on your teenagers at home. As a parent, we urge you to always call them, sit down with them, and listen in. Remember, we are coming to you from Uganda, Euphoria Radio. Thank you so much for keeping it locked here. And today we have an interesting topic that we are going to look at, and we are going to be getting to know more about the rights of teenagers, the rights of children. They are not far from those of children, of course, but of course they are not babies, and remember, they are in a transition. They are coming from being young to adolescents. They are teenagers. So whoever falls between the age of 13 to 19 is a teenager. By right, by law, that's what we know. That person is a teenager. And the people that are seated with me here, they fall within that age bracket. And who else should air out their opinions best than them themselves? So I'll allow them to say hello to you, starting with Joan.
Hello everyone, I'm Navi Joan, and I welcome you in this program. I know you are going to be very blessed.
Amen. Joan, you're feeling fine? You're good?
Yes, I'm
nice.
very fine.
Great.
Hi, our listeners. How are you doing over there? I'm Nabala Owen from Youth for Charity Missions, one of the teenagers to air out
your views.
The views.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hello, our listeners. I'm Tasarira Maria from Youth for Charity Missions International. Thank you for being our friends.
Thank you. That's interesting. Thank you for being our friends. Yes, to start off with our theme today, you can call it our topic. Remember, we are talking about rights. These children, these teenagers, they have rights just like we adults. Just like adults, we know we have our own rights, things that keep us moving, things that we follow, and we say, I know I'm entitled to this. I know I must have access to this, and with ease. So even these teenagers, they have their own rights. Of course, we are talking about this, bearing in mind that we are going through a tough time. COVID-19, that's the coronavirus. The times that we are going through, they are tough, but our rights must be known to us. They must be at the back of our palms. We must have them with us. We must make sure our children are being exposed to these rights. Let me start with Maria. Maria,
yes.
I would love you to share with us some of the rights of a teenager. People think people don't have rights, or we only know a few, like a right to feed, a right to education. What are those other rights?
The rights which I have today in the studios is right to education.
Yes.
Because some children are not given their right to education. Because as children, we have to study. But you can find some children, they don't give time to their children to revise their books or to study. Mm-hmm. For example, a child can be with homework to do, or when he wants to have a look at the work which they did in class when didn't understand.
Yeah.
But the moment she or he sits down, the parent calls him or her, "Go and buy for me salt," or start washing clothes. And the child, that's why you find some children in class are not active.
Yes, because they keep sending them. Yeah. So Maria, you think if at all you are doing homework, your parent should not send you? Is that what you're trying to say? They should not send you?
What I mean is a child, because we have work which we are supposed to do as
Yes,
children.
yes.
So if you know you have homework, it's a must, you have to revise as a child.
Exactly.
You have to make sure all the work is done in time, so you help your parents so that you can sit down at once. They don't disturb you
Yeah.
when you are revising your work or doing your homework.
Okay, that's good. So we must exempt these children. You very well know that a child has time. They need time to revise. It's not just right to be sending them all over. Do this. You give them, like she said, they should manage time. Parents should learn that aspect, that concept of managing time between doing her chores and revision. Yes, another right.
Another right is right not to be tortured, because some children are tortured in a way which is not good, and they are tortured in two ways. The first way is emotional torture. Some children cannot be tortured. Emotional torture is not tortured by beating you or slapping you, but is someone telling you words which are not good, and that one they can confuse your head, which can cause emotional torture. And a child can move away. For you think, he's happy, but when he's not happy, he continues to think about those words which you told him or her, and sometimes that emotional torture can make you even to run mad.
Interesting. Emotional torture. Okay, what's the other form? You talked about two. Emotional torture, and what else?
Physical torture. Some children, they are tortured physically.
Yes.
You can find when a child is being caned from morning to evening. Even if when has done something wrong, the parent can't talk, can just start caning or beating. For example, yesterday at television we saw a neighbor who burnt someone's child who was 2 years, and burnt her with paraffin and fire all over the body. And
that is sad.
Yeah, it was not good. And when the mother asked the child, who burnt you, said our neighbor.
It's actually a neighbor who burnt, not the parent.
No.
Wow. Okay, that is absurd. That is bad.
But
that
also
is really
was
bad.
a parent, because was a nalo.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. I love the answers that just came in. Just to add on what Maria said, she talked about two forms of torture. She mentioned emotional, that is mental. Then she also mentioned physical, right? There is also a torture that comes into our teenagers, that is sexual torture, or it's an abuse. If we are to categorize these tortures, these abuses that teenagers go through, sometimes if it's not sexual exploitation, teenagers are times abused, they are defiled, sometimes they are beaten, they are battered, like Maria just told us, a kid who got burnt by a neighbor. Sometimes it's emotional torture. How you speak to your child matters a lot. How you tell your child you are not getting this right, it matters a lot. How you discipline them. We are not saying you shouldn't have an upper hand. No, you should. You should actually talk to your children, discipline them, but how do you do that? It matters. You should be soft-spoken. And of course, spare the rod, spoil the child. Sometimes if there is need to at least discipline them in that way, that there comes a time where you have to at least cane a kid for them to get something, but it's not a routine where you have to do that. You should bear in mind that you might be stepping on the boundaries. You are going way overboard, like burning a kid. That is not something, it's not something right. Yes, Owen, please share with us your rights, you as a boy, as a teenager.
Thank you for the chance that you have given me.
Yes.
Actually, Maria was talking about education, and now it is estimated in research that 260 million children or kids do not have this opportunity, but that is absurd.
An opportunity for
education.
Okay.
To get education.
Okay.
I'm Nabala Owen, dear listeners, and one of the right that you want to talk about is sexual rights for us teenagers. For all that are categorized in the age brackets of the teens, we need sexual rights. All our friends need sexual rights, including our girls, because you find some of our girls at school, they are sexual abused, as you said, by teachers, either by other staff members. and it is really
or even
bad.
From their friends.
Yeah, it is real bad.
Yeah.
It even may lead to suicide, or some of our girls, their brothers, commit suicide, kill themselves because of that very thing that touch their very heart.
Yeah.
Sexual rights at our workplaces, maybe some of the boys at school.
Yeah.
They are those people, not only girls that are affected by sexually abused, but even the boys. Their homes.
Even the boys are sexually abused.
Yeah.
Actually, people don't know that boys get sexually abused. People think it's only girls who are sexually abused.
Yes. Also, boys are sexually abused at their places. Maybe the neighbors may not be the right person, but parents, we call you all the community and all the people around, that we have to look at our brothers, our sisters, our kids, our teens in this very right. They need sexual rights. They need to be looked at.
And how do you think they should know of these sexual rights?
They should know. They have to be taught.
They have to be taught. Yeah. Perfect. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they have a right to sexual education, simply. Teenagers have a right to sexual education. They must know that they have a right. They are not supposed to be subjected to sexual exploitation, harassment. Good. Perfect. I like that.
And most of the parents over the world, globally, right now, sexual education is being out in the homes. Parents do not take time. Yeah. But it is our work right here, Youth for Charity Missions, to help our youth, to help our brothers know their sexual rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to cut you short, Owen, do you think you are entitled to sexual education? How old are you?
15.
You are 15.
I'm making 16 this very month.
Interesting. Do you think it is right for you to have sexual education? Do you think it's right?
It's right.
Okay.
For me to have sexual education, to be told that in this very age of the teen, you are going to face this. These are the steps that you are going to go into adolescence.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the teens need this education. You are going to gain menstruation.
Yes.
There comes the right of being informed, children to be informed, teens to be informed, because you find that you can ask aged girl, or before she comes to the age bracket of teens, when she's 10, when she hasn't started menstruation, when she doesn't know it.
Yeah, and so, it's through the education that she will know.
That she will know.
That's interesting. They have a right to sexual education. And when we say sexual education, of course, it's supposed to be age appropriate. Sometimes people misquote us and they think otherwise, but this information is supposed to be age appropriate. You know the teenagers you are dealing with, you know I must say this and I must not say this. So I like what Owen just brought up there. Children are supposed to be, they are entitled to such education, not just education that is supposed to be transpiring in class, or mathematics, biology. Of course, we need to also look at this side of things because they are growing, they are teenagers, they are transitioning, they are going through puberty, they are going through adolescence, they are going through development and growth. There are things that they must know. So parents, we urge you to use this time, COVID-19, sit down with your children, give them that education that they cannot receive in class. Talk to them and tell them, you're going to notice such changes on your body. How do you go about them? Your hygiene. Talk to them. Another right, please.
Another right, the right for expressing yourself. Yes. The teens. You find that some of the teens maybe are looked at and refused maybe to participate in somewhere or to be included maybe in sports.
Yes.
You find that our brothers that have some problems, maybe they are lame, they cannot stand up, they are not expected to,
they are disabled,
they are disabled,
yes,
but really some of these are able to do some of these
not
things.
Some of them, all of them. There is that saying that says actually disability is not inability. You have potential. There are teenagers who are disabled, but they have potential, they have speech, they have a right to speak. But people underlook them, just like Owen said. Since it's time for sports and you're in a wheelchair, you're not entitled to this. No, all children are the same. They have same rights, equal rights, universal rights. They have a freedom to liberty. That's interesting. Thank you so much, Owen. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
We are still listening into the rights of these teenagers. Please just keep it locked here. Let's get to hear from another gorgeous lady, teenager here. Please, Joanne.
To add on what Owen and Maria have said, there is also a right to be listened to as a teenager. Many of parents, they don't give time to teenagers when they want to air out, to speak what is on their mind. They don't want to talk what is hurting them. When they come and say, I want to talk to you, man, maybe or that they say, I don't have your time, you're still young. They don't give them that time to be listened to. They take them as they are still young, but they also have something biting them, paining them. So they should give them that time, because they are also people like others. They take them as young, but they have their own things which they want to air out, so that you can help them.
Interesting. Yesterday I was watching a talk show on TV, actually, and they asked a lady. The lady came up and said, during this time of COVID-19, people have been hit so much. People are going through a crisis, emotional crisis, financial crisis, and adults have been affected. But for teenagers, they are just fine. That is what she said. There are no problems. She meant the young age. Let's say maybe 18 going downwards. 18, 17, they are not affected. But when you listen into such voices, you get to know there is a gap. Children are not being listened to. We need to, regardless of their age. Yes, Joanne.
And there is also a right to speech. I may have something which I want to say, but you say, no, you're not supposed, or you don't give me time, but you're supposed to give me that time to speak what I have to say. Because I can come in as a girl when I want pads. But I say, I want to talk to you, man. You say, I don't have your time. Or when you are busy, you don't give me time completely. So also they should know that that's also a right to teenagers or to young children like us. That's
interesting. An advocate for rights. That is Joanne there. You are listening into her. The words are coming from her. It means she's been there. She's going through that, and she's urging you to listen. I hope your parents do listen to you, my dear. Do they?
They listen to us. They give us time. Actually, I can't say that they don't listen to us. They do listen to us.
And how often do you think your parents should listen to you? Should it be once in a while, once in a week? What timetable do you think is... Do you even need a timetable?
No, it's not that you need a timetable. But you can first up now, like when you go in menstruation periods. It is not like you will know that this time I will be going. You should go and you ask that, today I have started my menstruation periods. I want pads. They should listen to you anytime you come with a reason.
Anytime. Okay, so it should not be only when you are going through your menstruation, only when you notice maybe you need things like a shaver. It's not that. It should be anytime. Okay. Parents, we have you. We are on a hot seat here. We are still going on. We are sharing the rights of teenagers or children. Some of them do cut across, of course, and we are talking about teenagers mostly. That's our case study. We are looking at people who are between the age of 13 to 19. They have rights. I know we impose on them things. We tell them you're supposed to do this and do this, but as a parent, you're supposed to be mindful and know that Joanne is entitled to this. I must have time for her. Even during COVID-19, you should have time to listen. If possible, have time, and today as you get back home or you're home, sit down with your teenager and tell them, I need you to talk to me. Tell me what is bothering you. How do you feel? Are you fine? Are you okay? Like, try to create a relationship with your kid. That means by doing so, they'll be exposed. They will tell you everything. They will be free with you. I hope we are together on this. It's still the talk show, and it's a teenage voice talk show. You get to hear from the teenagers themselves. They bring these ideas. That is their perception, and we look on that and we learn from that. Yes, Maria.
As we know that there are many rights of children, there is also a right to basic needs. As me, Maria, and other teenagers, we have right to basic needs. For example, we need clothes, because you can find when children, some, they don't have clothes. They put on clothes which you see when they are, that they are for a long time ago when they stay with their parents or guardians, but when they don't mind, because if they eat, no problem, clothes, they will mind. The good thing, they are not naked, but that's not good. Also, we have another basic need, undergarments. For example, sanitary pads, knickers and others, because a child, if a girl, when started menstruation periods, when doesn't have a sanitary pad, can't be able to do anything, because also can be ashamed to be with others, because can say, if I get out, they will laugh at me, they will see me when I have blood, and that's not good.
Okay, basic needs. These children are supposed to. So, Maria, you think as a teenager, you talked about undergarments. Then you also talked about. Let's first look at the undergarments mainly. Undergarments, we mean knickers, we mean their panties. They are things that, of course, teenagers must have. And like she said, it's a right.
Yes.
And if you're living with a teenager, it is you supposed to provide. It is not them to go out and work out for those things, like to find money to get to get those resources. It is supposed to be you, the parent, the guardian, supposed to provide. And unlike there are some teenagers who actually work. There are some other states where you find when a teenager clocks 16, they can go out and work, which is fine. That one can provide for themselves. But if you have a teenager whom you are living with, you're supposed to give them all of that. And you talked about sanitary pads. Those are the towels that girls need as they go through menstruation, right? Yes. That is also a basic need. Do you think you're supposed to be having that even when you are, let me say, you're 13? Let's take an example. You are 13. Do you think you're supposed to be having sanitary pads, you as you?
Yeah, it is good, because always we need to be prepared for something.
Great.
As we know, we are girls. Anytime we can go in menstruation periods. So it's good to be ready always.
Wow, I like that. That's interesting. I really like that. As a girl, you need to be prepared. There are some of these things that parents are actually overlooking. You think since your kid is still 12 or 13, there is no need to give them such things. But as a girl, I'm telling you, actually, I'm not telling you, I'm adding on what a fellow girl has told you. Actually, a teenager, she has just advocated for that. Safe periods. And how do you achieve safe periods? Having the resources. As a girl, you're supposed to be having with you a sanitary kit. There are parents who think this is not right, but it is right. It is right. Such a child, they need to be in the knowledge of growth. They need to be in the knowledge of the resources that they need to use. So parents, you're hearing it from should I say the horse's mouth? It's them. They're saying it right to you. Yes, Owen.
Yeah, one of the right, once again, it is under speech, confidentiality. To be confident, children need to be confident.
Yes.
Not only to look at fearing parents, to look at them as if they are too special, but to be confident in airing out and speaking out what is real on their hearts.
Yes.
As shall say that anytime they need to listen to you. Not only listening to you, because your confidentiality matters. If you are not confident before your parents, you may find that sometimes they don't take you serious.
Confidence is key. Confidence is key. Okay, that's interesting. That's good. I'm so happy that I'm seated with a panel of confident teenagers. They are airing out their views. They are speaking out what is in their hearts. That's interesting. Yes, my dear, please share with us another right.
We have another right also, a right to feed. Because a hungry child cannot grow. A hungry child cannot go to school and sit in a class and you expect that child to understand what the teacher is going to teach. So parents, it is your responsibility to provide food to these children. You don't say that you are still young and you have to give them food, because it is your responsibility and they are still young. You have to provide to them food.
With that said, Joanne, do you think such a slogan is right? It's not really a slogan, but I've heard people say a parent can sleep on a hungry stomach but not a kid. What am I trying to say? We are going through a time of COVID-19. there is a crisis of food. People, okay, in Uganda we were given food, but the food, to some people the food is done.
Yeah.
And other people did not get their food. So, do you think it is right for you as a teenager, as a child, to feed and your parent is not feeding? Do you think it's okay? It's fine with you? Because a parent will tell you, I have money, but I have the money to do this and this. Because there are children who actually go without food. They go without food.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to ask is, if your parent has something, do you think you are a priority? Should they first buy you what you need, food, before they think of what they need?
Okay, it is like this.
Yeah.
If your parent is not eating, but when you are also seeing that money is going to do something,
yes,
but not ignoring your food intentionally,
yeah,
or because you're a child, it's okay, because you can say, my mom is not eating, or my dad, let us wait, maybe we shall eat in the evening.
Yeah.
But there are some parents who deny their children food because they have not worked for it. You have been at school, did nothing, so I will not give you food. That is not,
your performance is not good, so you're not entitled to food. A child has the right to feed. Children must feed. Like she said, without food you can't study, you can't concentrate. So that is it. Thank you so much, dear listeners. You are still locked here. That's the Youth4Com Radio Uganda. And with me here are teenagers. They are voicing out their opinions. They are telling us more about their rights, the things that they are entitled to, the things that they must have access to with ease. We know it's a tough time. And of course, I keep saying this with time and again. I keep saying that children are affected. Teenagers are affected. And you will not know until you approach them. You will definitely not know. So I challenge you as a parent to take time and speak out with your kid. Ask them, what is it you're going through? How does it feel like being in such shoes we are going through? You will find out things that some of them will be disturbing. You will find it hard to believe, but it's the truth. Children are being tortured mentally. They are thinking, what if I lose my parent to COVID? What if this crisis goes on and I don't go back to school? What if they are thinking? And they need your counseling. They need your guidance. They have that right to education. Educate them about things that are going on. Tell them that it will be fine. It's only a matter of time. It's only a virus, and this is how we are supposed to contain. We are supposed to avoid it. Talk to them each time. Inform them. Children have a right.
Yeah,
they have a right. And with me here, I have Joanne, I have Maria, I have Owen. Those are the teenagers here, and they best pour out their hearts. They tell us what they go through. Yes, Maria, there is still another right that we need to know from, that is coming from you.
Also, we have a right to play as children, but it is not a must that as we have a right to play, not always. That even if a parent calls you to do something, you say, no, mommy or daddy, I'm playing. It's not good. We have to put their time for playing, because we know that playing can't help us always, but studies help us. But the time, it's good to finish it in books. You study for a good future. But if we stay in playing only, it's not good as teenagers, because we work for our good future in life, so that we be well, we be responsible people, and even we become what we want to become.
Interesting. There is a saying that says, work without play. What does it say? Work without play makes John, is it John or Tom, I don't know, a dull boy. Have you heard of it? So it is essential for kids to play. So let me ask you, my dear, in such a time, COVID-19 is everywhere. Do you still think there is need for you to play like prior, like before?
Yeah, there is a need for us to play, but not to play that as we used to do. You go and visit a friend, you start playing from there. No, as we have our compounds at home, so it's good you be there at home. You play as with your sisters and brothers. That's right. It's good.
Nice.
This time, you have a time to be with your sisters and brothers.
Some parents actually think this time is only for being in books. I like what she said. Children, you are working for your future. It is your future that you are preparing for. Your tomorrow. So, of course, we also say that there is a need for you to play, to rest. It is not only books.
Yes.
And it's not only playing. You must mix them up. You must balance. That's the best word to use. Balance. Now I'm reading and now I'm playing. Yeah, that is it. So Owen, first tell us, do you have games you're involved in? Are you playing during this time? Do you have that free time for yourself?
Yeah, there is free time.
Okay.
For myself.
And what are those things that you do in your free time?
Free time? In free time, I learn different things. I play games. They are different things that I do to add on myself a value. Because as you said, work without play. Yeah, it is like that. You have you have to balance. Have to be active always in everything.
I like you all. That's interesting. You need to balance. You must strike a balance. Yes, Joan.
Another right, there is also a right to be healthy, because as a teenager I should be healthy.
You have a right to health. Yes.
And if I have any disease, they should take me in a hospital and I get medical attention, like UTI diseases which come with a disease like Candida. They should take care of me, because if they don't take care of me, I may end up getting an infection, which is not good. So they should take care of me, taking me in the hospital.
Okay, that's good. You have a right to health.
Yeah.
There are some parents who would say, how did you get that disease? How did you get that disease? I need to know. And this is a UTI. I like what she said.
Yeah.
It is a UTI. It could be Candida. You could have gotten it from using dirty lavatories, dirty toilets. Your sanity also, it could cause such. But a child has a right to be taken to a hospital. And you should feel free to tell your parents. All of this goes back to the responsibility of parents in such a time. If at all you're a friend to your child, if at all you have time to sit down and find out what they are going through, they'll easily come to you and tell you, Daddy, I noticed this and this. I noticed a change in this and this. Mommy, I noticed my guardian, this and this. So please, parents, it's a call from us, Youthfocom. We are asking you to spare time, buy time and sit down with your kids. Most of these rights, you will only get to know them if you interact with your kid. You will get to know that, oh, my child is going through this, so they have a right to this. My child is going through this. I must do this. I must not do this. Yes, Owen, you have a right for us?
Yeah, we have a right. A right of playing a role to the environment, to the areas we live, not to be left at the back or behind, but to be brought together, to play a role to where we are living, to our environment, to the nature. As you have seen, different things that have gone around. Most of the children are the ones that are contributing to the beauty of our environment. They are planting trees. They
plant trees in schools. That's interesting.
It is interesting. That means that we have not to be left behind. We have to be together
at the front. There is need to have children at the front line. Children should be at the front line, in the house, at school. Please involve us as children. Involve us in the decisions that you make, in the things that you do at home. If it's food, you're looking for a dish to prepare, come and ask. Yes, Maria, what do you think we should prepare today? Let her say. If there is money, of course, open check, you provide it. If there is no, still you speak with them. Put children on the front line of everything you do. It will help you to monitor them. It will help you to know them. Speak with them, like we said, educate them. Sexual reproductive education. Teach them about what they have tomorrow. They are growing. They are getting into development. They are encountering things, changes on their body. Speak with them. There is information that people take lightly. They don't just take lightly, but parents think it's not good to the ears of the kid. But speak with them. Now they are growing. They are transitioning. Someone is 15 years, but they do not know about health. They do not know about menstruation. They do not know they're supposed to maintain their hygiene in check. They do not know. Please, parents, it's a call from us. as a child, as a teenager, we are telling you all of these things. We are entitled to them. Please give them to us. Give us a right to speech. Of course, when we say a right to speech, it falls back to teenagers also. Yeah. It's not that you must say things that are negative, things that are lacking.
Yeah.
Let your parent listen to you when you're saying something that is beneficial, something that is good. And there is need to discipline you.
Yeah.
Is it okay to be beaten? I'm asking this to all of you. I want to get an opinion from you people. Is it okay to be beaten at home?
It is okay to us to be caned at home.
Yes.
For a reason, but not
Great.
Always. Our parents always they warn us, but others they don't warn their children. But it's good.
So there is need to have a warning prior. If I warn you today, Maria, you're not doing this right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I can beat you, not just to beat you anyhow. Yes. Wow, that is coming from Maria. It is okay to discipline them, to beat them, but of course, warn them.
Yeah.
Warn them. First, teach a child and tell them you don't do this like this. If they go astray tomorrow, that's when you have a right to at least inflict a little beating, a slight beating. Yes, Owen, is it okay to be disciplined, beaten?
Yeah, it is very okay.
It is okay?
It is okay.
Why do you think it's okay? Is it not torture?
It might be a torture if it is of a daily routine.
Okay, I understand.
Slight mistake, a slap, kinds, that is a torture.
Okay.
As I said, that even it leads to suicide. We have seen many of the teens, of the young kids commit suicide. Even the person beating that very person ends up killing. But it is right.
Yeah, you can beat a child to death if at all you are too harsh on them. Okay, I like that. Yes, Joan, is it okay?
It is okay for children to be disciplined, but for a reason. First talk to that child, because there is power in talking and listening. You first talk to that child, because I know we are also people. We can understand and
you adjust and you okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we have heard from the teenagers. They have been sharing about their rights. It is so great to be a teenager and you know your rights. I'm so proud of all of you, Owen, Maria and Joan. It's so great to be when you know your rights, to live when you know your rights. So just a close-up question, and I have two questions going out to Owen and Joan. What do you do when you are abused? Not you, of course. I mean, if a child is abused, what do you think they should do? A parent is listening now. And when I talk about abuse, I mean torture, mental torture, I mean physical, I mean sexual. Sexual, we talked about defilement, someone touching you in your private parts. That's not right. It's not at all. If someone abuses you, what do you think? What knowledge do you give to someone who is tuned in and they abused? They are teenagers. What would you tell them?
When you are abused and you are a teenager, but you are not abused by your parents, let me say by some person, not your family member, you should report that person to your parents, and that parent should do action or to take that person to the police so that they can, and they should give you time to say that this is what has happened, and they should listen to you, because I think you can't just come and say that they have raped me when it is wrong. When it's wrong,
okay. So, you report to parents, you tell them. Okay, yes, Owen?
Yeah, it is just focus. By touches, as she has said, report. Report to the nearby person that is near or around you.
Okay.
Raped, head to the police. Talk to them. Talk to your parents. Tell them to see how they can counsel you out of this issue that you are facing.
Okay, thank you so much, my dears. Thank you, our dear listeners. Thank you. It has been the Teen's Voice, and we have been tackling the rights of teenagers, the rights of children. They have rights too, and they get exploited sexually, emotionally, mentally. How you speak with your child can cause mental torture. They can think of that. Someone mentioned suicide. It can be suicidal at some point if it's too much. You're battering your child. You are beating them. They see home as hell. They don't want to be home. Make home a safe haven. Make home beautiful. Listen to your kids. Give them a right to speak. Involve them. Teach them sexual education. Of course, the education you receive in school is good, but even this is paramount. So make time for your children. It has been us. Thank you so much. Until next time. God bless you.